Have you ever felt invisible in a room full of noise, like your quiet voice doesn't belong there? He felt that way often. While others spoke loudly and filled the air, he stayed still, holding thoughts that felt too small to share. He wondered if silence meant weakness, if being quiet meant being less. The world seemed to reward noise, confidence, and fast words. His heart moved slower. He listened more than he spoke. Inside, a gentle pain grew, unnoticed by others. He didn't know it yet, but this quiet ache was the beginning of something important. What happened next changed how he saw himself forever. The story is for you. Listen carefully. And stay with it always. He was the kind of person people often missed, not because he was absent, but because he was quiet. He watched more than he spoke. He noticed small things others rushed past. The change of light, the pause between words, the feeling in a room. In groups, he stayed on the edge, listening, smiling softly. People thought he had nothing to say, they didn't ask. Inside him lived careful thoughts, deep questions, and a gentle strength he didn't understand yet. He believed his value was small because it was silent. Each day, he carried himself like someone trying not to take up space. No one noticed what he carried inside, and he didn't see his own worth yet. He faced this feeling every day. At work, meetings moved fast, voices crossing over each other. When he raised his hand slightly, someone else spoke louder, and the moment passed. He lowered his eyes and told himself it was fine. In conversations, jokes were made before he could join in. Decisions happened without his thoughts. He became used to nodding instead of speaking. On buses, in classrooms, at family gatherings, the pattern stayed the same. He listened while others were chosen. He carried ideas home like unopened letters. At night, he replayed moments in his mind, wondering if he should have tried harder. Maybe he was too slow, maybe he didn't matter enough. Each silence added weight. Slowly, he began to believe he was invisible. Not unseen by accident, but unseen by design. He learned how to disappear politely, hoping one day someone would notice what he never said. This quiet routine shaped his days, teaching him to shrink himself gently, even when his heart wanted to be heard. He sat in the room knowing this time was different. A question was asked, and the answer lived clearly inside him. His heart beat faster. This was his moment. He felt it rise, warm and ready, but fear closed around it. He imagined eyes turning, judgment forming, silence after his words, so he stayed quiet. Someone else spoke. The room moved on. The chance disappeared. A small nod from others confirmed the choice. He smiled, but inside something sank. All the words he held turned heavy. On the walk home, his thoughts grew sharp. Why didn't you speak? What is wrong with you? That night, he lay awake, replaying the moment again and again. Regret pressed on his chest like a weight. He blamed his quiet nature, calling it weakness, calling it failure. He wondered how many doors had closed because he stayed silent. The pain was not loud, but it was deep. That night, something broke inside. Not loudly, not suddenly, but enough to change how he saw himself. Fear taught him silence was safer than truth in the moment. He met the mentor by chance, or so it seemed. An older man sat beside him one quiet afternoon, not filling the space with words. He simply shared the silence. After a while, the mentor spoke softly, asking how he was doing, not what he was doing. The question felt different. It felt safe. He hesitated, then answered honestly, slowly. The mentor listened without interrupting, eyes calm, presence steady. No advice rushed in. No fixing, just attention. For the first time, someone truly saw him. They talked as the noise of the world passed by. The mentor pointed out small things, the wind, the steady ground, the way stillness could hold strength. Then he said one line he never forgot. It was gentle, almost casual, but it landed deep in his chest. In that quiet moment, isolation softened into guidance. He didn't feel pushed to change. He felt invited to understand himself. And something inside him relaxed, as if he no longer needed to hide from the waiting world. The mentor looked toward the distance and spoke slowly. He said that people often mistake noise for strength. They believe power must be loud, fast, and seen. Then he pointed to the mountains resting beyond the city. He said, "Even the tallest mountain grows in silence. No applause marks its rise. No voice announces its height. It becomes strong by standing still, layer by layer, through time." He explained that mountains don't argue with the sky or compare themselves to hills. They simply exist, grounded and patient. Storms pass over them, winds test them. Still, they remain. Their strength is quiet but undeniable. As he listened, something opened inside him. He saw his own life differently. His listening, his patience, his depth were not empty spaces. They were foundations. Loud voices could shake a room, but quiet strength could hold weight for years. The mentor smiled and said strength doesn't need noise to be real. Silence can be solid. Stillness can carry power. That image stayed with him like a mountain forming inside his chest, steady and unafraid, teaching him a new language of worth and true calm. He walked home slowly, the mountain image following him like a quiet shadow. He replayed old moments with new eyes. At times he listened, at times he waited, the times he stood while others rushed past. What he once called weakness now felt like depth. Mountains weren't hurried, yet nothing could move them. He thought about his silence. It was not empty. It was space. Space to see, to feel, to understand. Fear had taught him to shrink, but truth invited him to stand. Something shifted inside him. The heavy story he carried began to loosen. He realized he had been growing all along, unseen, patient, steady. Maybe he was never weak. Maybe he was becoming strong in a way the world hadn't taught him to see before. He didn't become loud overnight. He didn't chase attention. But something changed in how he stood. When he spoke, his voice was calm, steady, and unforced. When he stayed quiet, it was by choice, not fear. He no longer apologized for his presence. He listened deeply, then shared when it mattered. People began to notice the difference. There was a weight to his words now, like ground beneath their feet. He felt rooted, not rushed. He accepted who he was, without wishing to be someone else. His silence was no longer a hiding place. It was strength, settled and sure, like a mountain that does not move at last. You are not weak because you are quiet. You are not behind because you move gently. The world compares volume, but truth measures depth. Your silence can hold wisdom, strength, and care. Like a mountain, you grow without noise. Stand as you are. You were never less. You were always becoming. This truth is here to heal you today. Now, if this story touched you, keep it close. Share it gently with someone who feels unseen. Let them know quiet hearts matter. You are not alone in this journey. May peace meet you and strength rise softly within you today. Thanks for listening. If you'd like to hear more stories like this, please subscribe and follow along.